boom. So we're talking about losing eyesight.
Yes.
You actually take comfort in the fact that your eyesight is starting to dwindle?
You want to chase it? At first I was like, I'm fine. Then I'm 42. Then it's like, let's try some ones. Then it's 1.25s. Then it's 1.5s.
What are you on now?
I stopped because I have so many fucking glasses. Some of them are 1s, some of them are 2.5s. It's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean.
But what I appreciate is you know where you're at by what you're able to retain if you fight for it, and the things that are going no matter what you do. Now, I've heard there's some Israeli guy who's got this app, probably from Laird, this app, and you do it, you get your eyesight back, and sometimes it's about, I don't need to try to use something to hold on to everything. I want to pick the 5 or 7 things that I definitely want to hold on to, and I want to watch the rest of it go in and out with the tides.
I agree with that in some ways, but if there was a real thing where you could get your eyesight back, I would definitely be on that. I don't think there is
LASIK.
That's not real. LASIK's.
But I know
there's several problems. You can get it if you have problems with your vision, but we have macular degeneration that's coming from age. Age-related macular degeneration. LASIK doesn't really fix that.
But I know people who were wearing glasses and then got LASIK and they don't wear glasses anymore.
That's a fact. But also,
we never wore glasses.
They get one eye too close up and one eye for distance.
It's even more fun. Half the eye exams I've gotten wind up fucking me 2 weeks later. Like, these don't work.
Yeah.
What about the loss of a sense that you're accustomed to being fine annoys you?
What about it?
Yeah.
I like being able to see things. Read labels in particular. How many of these fuckers am I supposed to take? You know, and what's in here? Yes. You know, like, how many milligrams? What's in? What does that say?
Also,
this shit?
But it's also funny to go up to like a little Lutron pad and have to go like that. To me, it's a gas.
Yeah. Interesting.
Except the things you cannot change. Now, if someone comes in and says, "Yo, Bob, I got it. We're done. Come over here. It's easy, or it's a supplement, or do this for 2 weeks, or stop doing this, this, and this," then there's a trade-off.
Yes. Well, I'm down for anything that actually works to make your eyesight come back, but I've heard of nothing. Everybody that I've heard of...
This might be our project then, because you care and I don't, so we have a nice balance.
There's a guy named David Sinclair that I talked to. He's a professor at Harvard.
Yep.
Is it MIT? Where the fuck is he? Harvard. They're doing some work with people that have serious eye diseases and serious injuries, and they're actually injecting some form of bacteria that has been encoded with some miracle cure for degeneration, and they can detach retinas, fix things.
Incredible.
Yeah. So they're working on some stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe in the future you won't have 2s and 1s and 1.5s.
Yeah, what am I got? I have a lighted greener pastures. I'm sure there's going to be other issues and hurdles that you're going to go, eyesight. I don't have fucking time to have. We got real shit going on here.
Yeah, I'm sure too. I'm concerned about that. That thing that you're wearing around your neck?
Yes.
Being as you are obviously known as being Iron Man, are you concerned with wearing a large thing in the exact same spot as the... Did you ever think of that?
Life is funny, because I was doing this before I ever got fitted for the RT, so it was more of art imitating oddball stuff I was doing anyway.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, yeah. But Iron Man, obviously, it's even more interesting, because maybe you were born to be Iron Man, because Iron Man obviously had that from the comic books.
Loosely prearranged destiny. And what's incredible is how far afield you can go from it and still find your way back.
Yeah. Well, there's been the whole superhero genre thing is so interesting to me, because there's so many reboots, and there's so many, like, how many fucking Spider-Mans have there been? How many Hulks have there been?
Yep.
There's only one Iron Man. You got that.
Thus far. What year is it?
Get the fuck out of here. You're Iron Man, man. It's just like, there's certain dudes just own a role. And if anybody else tried to be Iron Man, we'd be like, nah.
Well, interestingly enough, East Coaster, a dad of some renown, very different. My dad was a kind of an underground filmmaker, auteur maverick. I grew up definitely being Bob Downey Sr.'s kid. Spent time on Long Island, which is, I think, where Tony was raised.
Yeah.
But when Stan Lee was really thinking that through, it was the Vietnam era, and he was thinking about the military-industrial complex. He was thinking about, how about if I can throw a little bit of, not politics in here, but karma. And he gets shrapnel by the own thing, and it becomes, So, and then of course there was the whole demon in the bottle. I think he was the first superhero who ever had the, almost hang up his jersey because he's hammered.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there was obviously, but again, once something goes your way, you can draw all the parallels you want. You can call it destiny. But it was something that I definitely felt drawn to, and I definitely fought for. And looking back on it, I go, why was I fighting for that? Because it turned out to be a pretty special thing.
Wow, it was an amazing thing. I mean, you embodied it in a very strange way. I mean, it's inexorable at this point. You know, which is why I thought it was cool that you're going to do Dr. Dolittle, because I love the fact. I'm a fan of your work. You've done a lot of great stuff.
Likewise.
And you doing Dr. Dolittle is like a cool. It's I want to say you're not taking yourself seriously, but you're taking a
trust
risk.
that I'm not.
But you're taking. I mean, this is a fun kids movie about a guy who talks to animals.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a great break because if you're Iron Man, there's certain people that, for whatever reason, become a role, and that is it. That's what we will accept. You are that guy, and you're not doing that. You're able to, through your talent and through your ability to take chances, you're able to be a bunch of different things as well as be the Iron Man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm noticing anything now. It's that we need to shift and we need new challenges, and just like MMA, society, and politics, things are moving and morphing, and the information age is making things so. Everything's learning and growing from everything so quickly, and improving or disproving or discounting whatever's happening next. But for me, I heard that this was on the table. My missus, who's my creative partner in all things, said Steve Gaghan. I was like, I know Steve Gaghan. Syriana, really? What did he do? He wrote. Wow, that's a big turn for him.
Yeah.
And then I said, but why do I want to? And I looked out, and we live on a rescue farm. We have alpacas and goats and kuni pigs, and it's just crazy. And I was like, okay, same way I did with Iron Man a little bit. I was like, oh, all right, there's something here. And then before I signed on, I was just Googling weirdest Welsh doctor. I just want to think of. I don't want to just do another English accent. So there's this guy, William Price, who was a nutty Welsh doctor. He was a neo-Druidist. He was someone who believed we could communicate with all nature and all that stuff. So I sent a picture of this wild-looking guy wearing a suit with stars on it, and a staff in his hand. I sent that to Gaghan, and he goes, "That looks right to me." I was like, "Great, let's do this movie."
Literally, that's it.
It's always it. You know what I mean? It's always that thing of you click and you go, here's my sense. What do you think? And then the gal or the guy says, yeah, let's lean into that. And then you go, but do this and that. And, hey, will you give me some of this? And you go, yeah. And all of a sudden you're in a synergy. It's like a good interview, like a good fight, like a good dinner. It just kind of happens.
The gentleman right there. That's a crazy look.
Yeah. To me, I just thought can Doolittle be like that? He goes, does he have to be that way the whole way through? I go, no. When they find him, he's a recluse, and then the animals clean him up, and then he looks less unhandsome or less weird for the kids for the rest of the movie. But let's find him like that.
This concept of things just sort of falling into place. I'm a big believer in that too. Yeah. What is that though? Is that you getting out of your own way? What is that?
Isn't that 70% of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say it's 70% maintenance of what can I do to do my part to stay out of the way. And then the other part, I always think of it as this little super thin, invisible thread, but you can feel the tug. You just you have to be really gentle, and you have to pause when agitated, and you have to go for it when there's 4 walls in here, which one has the map on it? It's that one. And you knock down the one, and it's there.
Yeah, what is that though? That's a
Synchronicity?
Yeah.
Intuition?
But labeling it is very dangerous because it's so filled with woo.
Yeah.
So it's, there's so many people that are hucksters that have like made a career out of sort of like labeling it and defining it or teaching you how to get to it.
It's great because it's the commodity that you can't capitalize on, and yet if you don't show proof of its existence, you shouldn't even be qualified to speak on it. I don't know.
Right.
It's the big I don't know.
But when it happens, whether it happens with love or with friendship or with a career or with a path you're taking, you just know there's a smile, there's an inner smile, like, yeah, this is it.
Well put.
I found it. This is it. I'm supposed to be doing this. Here we go.
Yeah. And I really feel it's so funny at this point in my life and being, kind of middle-aged and all that. Well, I know I'm going to fly around the world and I'm going to sell some soap. And I know I have a new project, and I know I've just retired my jersey on this 12-year journey I've been on. And how do I want to start? And it came up, how would you like it? I go, yes, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to go have the Joe Rogan Experience and kick off this year and this season and this new chapter by doing what I love, which is an interview as we're looking at each other, and there's a give and take.
Is the door to Iron Man totally closed? Because I don't believe it is.
Oh.
You guys can go through time now. You can go. You already opened up that door.
Let me ask you the question. If I picked the jersey back up and put it on, wouldn't you feel a little bit like,
No.
Oh.
Here's what I think. Right. They go through a few semi-lackluster Avengers movies without you. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
Here's the scene. There's a moment where the world's fate is at stake and they realize they need a super genius. And then they figure out how to restart that time machine.
Great.
Come on, man.
Is that...
The audience sees you when you step out of that thing?
Is this you want a little arc on it too? Because if this is your idea, then you got to show up for it too.
I'll do it. I'll show up. What do I have to do?
I don't know.
I'll do whatever I have to do.
We all have to do whatever Kevin
I'll
Feige
hold
says.
the thing. Hold the thing. Do they still have that? Wow.
They do. They do.
Hold it.
It's digital.
I'll hold that digital thing. I'll do it. But the way people would freak out if you came back, come on. Think about it. Take a few years off. Do a few Dr. Doolittles, a couple more Sherlock Holmes.
It's interesting watching Eddie Murphy in this last little period of time. And I was talking to Colin Jost last night, who got to sit next to him at the Golden Globes and who was there and, on the show and writing for him, with him. When he hosted recently, and I go, it's just incredible. Our culture never encourages taking a break. Never encourages saying, don't chase that thing because you've got it in your hands. And I love the idea that if you're good at what you do, then it's not about time. It's about, it doesn't matter when you decide to pick up the mantle again. It's just about, but it's scary, isn't it? Could you imagine? Like if they just say, hey Joe, just don't do the show for 4 years and then come back and do it again. You'd be like, that's a lifetime. Who knows?
Well, with Eddie, what's interesting is he was arguably the greatest of his era and just stopped. Just stopped for 30 years, and no one does that. No one who's that good. And then when you see him, I don't know if you ever saw him, he received some award, and he was on a panel, and sitting in front of a podium rather, and he was talking about Bill Cosby, and he was doing this routine about them taking away Bill Cosby's awards. And it was fucking brilliant. And the timing was so good, and all of us, comics were just sitting there going, he could do it tomorrow. He could just get up there tomorrow and he'd be fucking murdering.
Yes. But it would be different.
It'd be different. He's a different human.
Yeah.
That's one of the more interesting things about it. It's him talking about some of the more homophobic stuff that he did in the past. Now it makes him cringe, and you just can't believe he was that person. But he was, when he did Delirious, I think he was like 22 or something crazy like that, which is just bonkers. So he was that good.
Anyway, I've been thinking about him lately in relation to a bunch of things, but also just that, particularly nowadays, giving yourself permission to not have to jump because, you know, strike the iron's hot, all that stuff.
Yes.
And maybe it's just as a bit of an anxiety to the times, which I remember too, speaking of past generations.